welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm going to tell the tale of getting this weird Japanese-made Les Paul copy out of a pawn shop for $40 the other week, and kind of some tips and tricks on what to look for if you're looking at cheapo guitars like this, or just any used guitar that you're looking at on the market. Overall, I'm not quite sure what to make of this guitar yet. It looks nice, I'll give it that. You know, it's kind of a Les Paul standard body, but it's got the blocks of a Les Paul Custom. It's got a bolt-on neck, and it's a ridiculously thin body. I don't know if that really does it justice, but it's about the same thickness as like a SG, and it's about as light as a SG. Pretty much I stop into the local pawn shop. I do that every now and then just to see what they have, and this one caught my eye. It did not have any pots or switches or anything in it, so I got this for $40. It had a chrome-covered pickup switch. That's the first quirky thing about this guitar. I will probably do, sorry, I'm trying to look at my camera monitor. But as you see, that is a single coil. Sorry, I'm probably touching this mic here, making a bunch of noise, but it was a single coil in the humbucker housing, so very weird, but it was also very microphonic. And this pickup was actually in the neck position, and this is a pickup I took out of another guitar. I initially had the original pickup in the neck position, but it sounded too woolly, not enough definition. And this pickup in the bridge sounded too bright and too thin. So I swapped the pickups, and I think that balanced them out quite a bit. But it still is pretty much a single coil going through 500K pots, so I do have the tone knob rolled back to kind of compensate for that, but I don't know. It doesn't sound like a Les Paul. Anyways, I'm just going to go through some sound samples, and then I'll talk a little more and kind of give you some more tips and tricks of what to look for when you're trying to find a cheap guitar. So, Orange Terror stamp for the amp. Distortion is a DoD Gunslinger. That's what I'm rocking these days. So let's start clean. Anyways, let's kick it over to some distortion. a lot of fun. Let's kick some more gain in. Anyways, so like I said, this is a single coil mounted in a humbucker casing. It sounds pretty P90-ish to me. So yes, it doesn't sound like a typical Les Paul, but I have a couple typical Les Pauls. I don't want another guitar that sounds like that. So anyways, kind of what to look for when you're looking at cheap bottom of the barrel guitars like this. The main thing is the neck, and that's what I picked this up just to see how the neck felt. And you know, I kind of went up and down this whole fretboard, just testing, looking for any dead frets. You know, I did that in the store and I didn't find any dead frets, and the neck feels pretty darn comfortable. So I initially looked at this as $40. If anything, I can get a neck for a 24 3/4 inch scale length project, because why not? But I don't know, this body's also pretty weird. It does look like it's mahogany on the back with a maple cap, but it's a very thin maple cap, and I'll put screenshots in now. I took pictures of the inside, but it's almost like the whole cap is like floating. It's almost like a semi-hollow guitar almost. And I don't know, kind of chambered weight relief-ish. But so when you're looking at cheapo guitars, the neck is the main thing. If the neck is there, you know, things like the nut can be, you know, cut a little better, tuners can be replaced, electronics can be replaced. But always check the neck and then kind of look down the neck, make sure you don't see any weird twists or warps. Luckily, I think I did have to adjust the truss rod on this a little bit. So the truss rod did work on this. I had to put a little relief in it, actually. It was too straight, and it wasn't ringing clear on these lower notes down here. From there, things can be fixed, you know. The intonation I have as close as it gets. I might have to put a screenshot over, but I don't know if you can tell, but those are actually nylon saddles on this Tune-o-matic bridge. I don't know why. I think Gibson's did have that from some era, but I don't know, something different. It still rings pretty good to me. Frankly, that's not bad sustain for a bolt-on neck as far as I'm concerned. The other thing you can do when you're looking at a cheap guitar like this is just hear how it resonates unplugged. It rings pretty loud and proud, I think. Doesn't have a lot of low end to it. I think that has more to do with how light this is, and it almost feels chambered. Sorry, my edges here. But if it doesn't ring nicely when it's unplugged, it's not going to ring nicely plugged in. So definitely see how it resonates on its own. Yes, I know enough gain, it doesn't matter, but if you have a good starting point with the guitar, I think you'd rather have a good starting point than having to make up for it with pedals and amps later. So anyways, If you have any other tips and tricks that you can think of when looking at cheap guitars like this, like I said, the main thing is make sure dead frets are to a minimum. I mean, you can address a fret, but and if there are any dead frets, make sure there's plenty of life on the frets. Some of these frets, you can tell this guitar's been played a little bit. These lower strings, you know, they've done some cowboy chords on it, but nothing's fretting out. And then, yeah, let me know what you think. Any other tips you have for buying cheap guitars? And this has kind of been a show and tell. And final tally. Paid $40 cash for the guitar, and I bought a wiring harness, and that was, I think, $31 when it was all said and done after shipping and taxes and all that. I had this pickup lying around, so just over $70 for this guitar. The tuners aren't the best, but they hold, and I'll show it. Sorry, I keep going further. I keep thinking of things to say, but Les Paul style guitars or Gibson style headstocks. I don't know if this will show up on the camera. I might have to just, I'll insert a picture of it. But there's a certain way to string it. I saw Robert Baker actually did a video on this. But for tuning stability, make sure the strings are as far up on the tuning pegs as possible, especially on these G and B. Then also put some pencil graphite in the nut slots. And I don't have any tuning stabilities with this guitar, tuning stability issues with this guitar, despite the tuners kind of being a little jumpy and all over the place. But it held. I have not tuned since I started this video. So anyways, like and subscribe. Let me know of any cool pawn shop finds that you all have had. Let me know in the comments. Let's start a conversation. Until next time, see you later.